What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of My Garage. As always, if you guys are enjoying this series, make sure you leave a like in the video. It'd be greatly appreciated. In the last episode, we did manage to piece together a beautiful V8 engine that, fingers crossed, today we're hopefully going to be swapping into our four-door lad. But before we can do that, there has been a small update made to the game that we can no longer push around the engine stand with our body. So what they want us to do now, or what the dev would like us to do now, is use what's called the move tool, which we've seen in the store a fair amount of times, but I never wanted to pick it up because I didn't know what you'd use it for, you know? But if we want to successfully swap the four-door lad, we're gonna need this new move tool. It's not even new, I guess it's existed for a while. But hopefully all of you had a fantastic weekend. Happy Monday to all of you. I'm sure many of you had a much more eventful weekend than myself. I watched FD, and my wife and I went out and got the Patrick Star show movie thing, which was surprisingly good. I'll be honest. I heard some very negative reviews of it, but honestly, it was not too bad. So there it is, the new move tool. Not new, but new to us. New to us. So obviously, piecing together a brand spanking new V8 was not very cost-effective, and I don't think I necessarily went about it the proper way. You know, we bought an entire shell, but as it turns out, we could probably turn around and sell that shell for a decent amount of money. We're now down to $1,100 after purchasing this move tool, so it better work. I actually don't know how to use it. I was half expecting to just hold the thing and it would do the stuff. Oh, we actually just pick the whole thing up now. That's cool, I guess. We're going to place that over here. And then next, what we need to do is drop this. We've got to get our wrench, get this thing unsecured. That was tightening. It was already loosened. That's kind of weird. And we're just going to pick the whole thing up. And I guess place it down over here. There's not really a good spot to put this massive unit. And then now I think we can probably get going on deconstructing the inline 4. We don't actually have to do much. Just remove like the power lead, the negative wire lead, probably disconnect the transmission and just try to take the whole unit out. This is probably really dumb, but I want to try it. Oh, it is absolutely not working. Well, kind of. If I bump it again, it might not, but I'm hoping that this will give us enough room to access the transmission brace down there.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
Turns out the lift is better than the floor jack. Who would have thought, right? Who would have thought? This will definitely give us much easier access now to that drive shaft. So once again, we've got to find our wrench, dude. I keep misplacing this thing. I kind of forgot we also have to replace this differential at some point, but the drive shaft can now come out. And the transmission brace is still holding up somehow. There's only 2 bolts on the thing. Oh, it's because of the thing on the top that does the stuff in the things or whatever. We're gonna need our handy dandy screwdriver for this one. Just these 2 screws right there and right there. And now it should be able to come out, right? I don't remember having to remove the gear shift. The last transmission that we had to drop. So maybe this will work. Maybe I just did that for no reason at all. Okay, well, the bracket is still in place, as expected. I'm not trying to remove the transmission right now. I'm just trying to get it, you know, disconnected so that when we get the engine mounts disconnected, we could just pull the whole unit out. But if we're going to do that, we will still have to disconnect the rest of the exhaust system. So we'll just place that right on over there. See, like, are we gonna need a new exhaust? Are we gonna need a new transmission? Do we really need a new differential? Like a specific one, I mean. These are all questions that will hopefully be answered shortly. But I think we're ready now to drop this thing back down, and hopefully we can just take this all out as one solid unit. Worst case, we have to put it back up in the air and just remove the transmission from the backside of the engine. That's not really a huge deal. It's just a little bit more time consuming, I suppose. Another bonus about this is now we have a decent, not perfect, but a decent 4-cylinder that we could then use in something else. Well, after removing both the fuel line and the power and ground wires, I was hoping we would just be able to use the move tool and pick up the entire thing as one complete assembly, but that does not appear to be working. So what we're going to do instead is just do it the way that we've done it every other time, I guess.
3 hours later.
I don't really even want to discuss just how long it has taken me to realize that I forgot one bolt on the transmission, like on the bell housing portion, not even on the brace. The brace doesn't appear to be removed, ever. But as you can see, the engine is perfectly removed. Or removable, I should say. So we're just going to set that over there. Like I mentioned, we will be using that hopefully for a future project down the road. But now that we have both the engine and transmission successfully removed, we can now start to try to mock this engine up in there. So, as I mentioned as well, we'll probably be needing a different transmission. So I think what I want to do next is actually just have a look-see in the catalog. We'll try to like set up the categories here, or the criteria, the way that we need them. So we're using the LAD, and we also have a V8 in there. So hopefully that'll give us parts that will work for the swap. You know what I'm saying? Wow, this is really gonna cut into our bottom line, dude. We have $1,100 to our name. The first gearbox available is $500. That's a 4-speed. If we scroll down a little bit more, there's a 5-speed. That's $1,000. And then we also have a 4-speed automatic for $650. I really, really want the 5-speed, so I think I'm just gonna do it. Hopefully this works. Hopefully this actually fits and can function, and we made a good investment here. We'll see if that can even bolt up to this. It might need to be in the car before we can actually do that. Oh no. Oh no, dude, if we just bought this and can't even use it, I'm gonna be absolutely furious. Let's go ahead and lower the LAD down. So first we can just see if the engine will actually fit in the engine bay. Hopefully, man. Hopefully. I really didn't do any testing with this. I have no idea if it's gonna work. I think it's gonna work. Oh my god, I think it's gonna work. I thought this was just gonna be one big flop. Be completely real with you. So now we just need to secure this. And, oh, major frame droppage. This on the opposite side. There we be. Hey, at the very least, we've got the V8 very much crammed into the engine bay of this former 4-banger. It does look like the crank pulley there is kind of clipping through the radiator. Maybe we could find us a different radiator. But to be honest, this one's made for the LAD, so it probably only works with the 4-banger. We still have to find a new brake booster as well, dude. We've got a lot to do and not a lot of money to accomplish this stuff with. So this will be interesting. Let's go ahead and put it up in the air again. Does seem to be a bit more front heavy as well, which is kind of concerning. So judging by the dual exhaust, well, I guess the dual headers, we're definitely going to need a new exhaust system too. God, dude, just please mount right up in there and do good things. I beg of you. It works. Oh my god, it works. Wait, why does that look so weird though? That's not lining up like whatsoever. Also, where's the starter supposed to go? There aren't even bell housing bolts. You guys, I genuinely don't think that this is going to work. There are actually bolts on the bell housing. They're just really, really difficult to get to. So I'm actually just clipping my whole face through the dash, and that seems to be the best way to secure those things. Well, it's official, you guys. The engine and transmission have successfully been installed into the 4-door LAD. Now, I'm really hoping that this drive shaft doesn't have to be like a completely different length, and it just works. That's fantastic news. We'll get that tightened up as well. With the drivetrain now installed, we've run into our first major hurdle, and that is we only have $159, and we have to somehow finish up the rest of this vehicle with the diff, and then the brake booster, and then we might even need new hoses, a new radiator. I'm not really sure what all we have left in the engine bay, but it's not going to run like this, and I know we're going to need some more capital. So, oh, not to mention, we have to get an entirely new exhaust. This one will not fit anymore. So what we're going to do is what we do best, and that is commandeer another customer vehicle so we can take it to the junkyard. Thankfully, a sweet elderly lady was kind enough to allow us to commandeer her vehicle. It's a rusted out NIV. Honestly, not a bad unit. She would like us to fix the rust, which we're absolutely not going to do, and we're just going to give the vehicle straight back to her. So, some of you may remember the way we acquired said V8 in the first place was we went to the junkyard and we actually purchased an entire shell that happened to have a little bit of the V8 that we needed. So what I'm hoping we can do here is just sell the shell, right? We could probably do that. $2,900. $2,900, and people said I was dumb for doing it this way. Still very much the case, but we're getting $2,900, which is pretty great. And with that gone, we also have a transmission support bracket for $1. I will get it in the trash can. I definitely will. And then we have this 4-speed gearbox. Wait, there is a starter on it. Where does it go? Okay, we're gonna have to look into that in a little bit more detail. $24 for that one. That's not too bad. I was really wondering where the starter actually went. Now we know. Hopefully we can get one for a decent price. But that puts us up to $3,100, and it's back to the garage. Beautiful night, isn't it? Absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, I don't think that sweet elderly lady is going to be so sweet when she realizes that we absolutely dusted her already rusted out NIV. To be honest, the reason I'm out on this cliffside in the first place is because the frame rate just drops when I get to this particular corner up here, and so then I've found myself on the cliffside. So without any further ado, we're gonna put her into first gear, and we've just gotta go for it, pretty much. Oh, right into the drink. Okie dokie then. I'm not gonna die out here, right? That can't actually happen. We should probably put the e-brake up. That's very important. There it is, sitting at the bottom of what I think is the ocean. Oh no, dude, how do we actually get out of here? This is awful. You can climb mountains, but only so steep of mountains. See, at this point, oh my god. And we're back. Let's get right back to work on the V8 swap with trying to find ourselves a starter. It's a good thing we were able to sell that shell for what we were able to sell it for, because this thing was like $200. Kind of ridiculous. Let's get our wrench once again. We'll get that nice and fastened, nice and secured. Both of the original seats are back in, as well as the gear selector or gear stick, whatever you want to call that thing. Now what we need to do is try to figure out how we can disconnect that brake booster. I want to say it's this one. Is it just one bolt? Course not. Course not. There are two on there. All right. Now this should just slide right off, right? Or is there more? I can't even see anything in this engine bay. Oh, we've got to disconnect the master. Okay. There it is. There it is. The master cylinder looks fine. It's only the booster that's corroded and gross looking. So let's have a look through the catalog, see if we can't just get the booster by itself. But we may just have to bite the bullet on this one as well and get the whole assembly. Honestly, $40 for an entirely new unit isn't really that expensive. But we'll crouch back down here, get that bolt, and the one just to the right of it. Perfect. Cool. All right, brake booster installed. Now we will have to top off the brake fluid in that, but we'll do that a little while later on. Let's now grab our battery. That's going to go right there. And then our power and ground lines should route themselves accordingly. Just 16 doll hairs later, and we've got ourselves a new fuel line. Only trouble is, I don't actually know where this one goes. Okay, it appears to have mounted somewhere. Maybe on... Oh, wait. It's on the back, isn't it? Just kidding, it's on the front. I remember. You guys, it's been a few days since we actually assembled the V8, so you'll have to cut me some slack there. I think we're almost done. Tell you the truth, we just have to figure out what we need to do for the cooling system now. You can see we do have a different upper and lower hose listed, as well as maybe a different radiator. I really can't tell. Let's try to see if we can get these original ones to fit. And we can kind of go from there. So where does that one want to route to? Dude, what happened to it? Oh, wait, did that just work? Hey, you know what? It doesn't look perfect, but it kind of lines up. Okay, we're going to have to, like, secure the hose clamp on that, of course. So maybe the hoses aren't any different. Let's get that one put on there. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, last step here is to grab our wrench and just secure all these nice hose clamps. Now on to fluids. The engine, of course, doesn't have any oil in it yet. We still have to put some coolant through the cooling system as well. And, not to mention, wait, I don't think I picked that up properly. We also have the brake fluid reservoir over here that we have to top off as well. So let's see if we can do this. Hopefully, dude, it's so hard to get the fluids to actually line up. There it is, there it is, there it is. And then it shouldn't matter if we go over. It would hopefully stop, I would think, at max fill. Perfect. Done deal. Next up, we have the coolant. That is going to go right there. Glug, 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 glug. And then last but not least is engine Earl. And we can get this thing cranked over. Make a little oil pressure first, and then hopefully it'll turn over shortly after. But I think we made some pretty great progress here today. Next episode, we'll have to come through, finish up the exhaust, maybe change out that rear differential as well, and just do overall, you know, quality of life upgrades to the four-door Lad. But I'm really excited to turn this thing over here today and just see what it's going to sound like without the whole rest of the exhaust and everything. I was half expecting this thing to take like 9 or 10 quarts of oil, just because, you know, it's a much larger engine than we've used in the past, but just 3 is all it takes to fill her up. So that is the last of the fluids, ladies and gents. Can we finally turn it over? Let's at least lower it all the way down to the ground, and we'll take it off the hoist, just in case it's trying to boogie. This is a warning to all headphone users. As a reminder, we do not currently have a full exhaust on this vehicle, so it may be very, very loud. And it is. And it is. All right, let's roll, dude. Good Lord, it is so torquey. Okay, like I said, cover your ears. I actually can't decrease the volume, so we're gonna live with it. I'll lower it in post, but I'm gonna shut up so we can just drive it around. It's loud. What in God's name? My ears are actually bleeding. Okay, I'm gonna turn it down for you guys, because I can at least do that. Oh my Lanta. We've got to go down like 10 decibels for this thing. At least, dude. That is nutty. I mean, it moves. The thing moves. I literally turned it down only for you, so my ears are absolutely just on fire right now. Wow. Wow, I really like it. I don't like the noise much, but hopefully that won't be as bad. When we actually get a full exhaust system. But this thing is a real ripper, you guys. A glorified ripper. Good Lord. But yeah, it's way too loud. Just way too loud. But there you guys have it, dude. Our V8 swapped 4-door Lad with a 5-speed transmission. I'm really curious, actually. 11,000 is not bad for the vehicle in its current state. It's very dirty. It's also not quite finished. But yeah, dude, a 5.6 V8 in this tiny little car absolutely boot scoots and boogies. I love it. I love it. Hopefully some of you are fans of it as well, but I do think that's where we're going to wind down this episode at for today. So once again, if you guys did enjoy, please leave a like, leave a comment, help support the dream by smashing that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Peace.